Alright, welcome back. Today's video is about none other than CROSS-ORBAL. So, when you throw a type of orb, the subsequent orb will follow it at 50% capacity. So that was the damage orb, and the heal followed it. And opposite, throw a heal orb, and damage orb follows it. Pretty simple. Today's improvement, we're going to go through it objective based, and our objective today is maximizing CROSS-ORBAL to be more effective in game and generate more stadium cash. And how we're going to do that is through what I like to call key results. So the first key result is mastering the technique of timing the secondary orb with less than 1% error rate. So what does that look like? We're going to break it down to 3 techniques. The first one is called the flick. Just as it looks, you essentially, as you throw that first orb, whatever it is, you are just flicking. As soon as you hit that orb, that first one come out, you are just looking at where you want your next orb to go, essentially. Pretty easy, and you know, it's fun practice. Use it a lot in game. Situations like this where I want to damage and heal, so you know, it increases your awareness and it looks cool. It's a cool form of skill expression. Pretty hard to find while playing Moira, but you know, it's fun. You know, you never thought you could flick with Moira, but I know you've been stuck in this choke before. It really helps here too. Like, I'm going to throw damage orbs towards the enemy, and I'm going to give heal orbs to my team here. And it's going to bounce nicely off that wall. I'm flash healing my entire team as well. Just trying to generate cash. That's the whole point here. You know, even if you're pushing their spawn, you could still find situations where flicking your healing orb back to your teammates is super helpful. So look out for opportunities like that. The opposite is true. If I want to throw the healing orb first to heal and then flick the damage orb, you just have to keep in mind that the secondary orb for some reason bounces off of barriers, and your normal orbs, you know, they go through barriers. For some reason, I don't know if it's a bug, but it just bounces off. So, you know, you could throw it to the side. Our second technique is called the bunker, and this one's pretty self-explanatory, but you know, in rooms like this, you'll find them all over the place in stadium maps, and literally, like, you can create a little zone of like annoyance and, you know, survivability for you and your team. So, you know, it could really turn a battle if they don't know what's going on and they enter that room. It's, you know, or if you know your team like this in situation where your team's going to be back at this choke, you know, just providing them heals like this is a wonderful idea. And again, all we're trying to do is get the most out of these orbs. So in third person, the bunker technique is possible. It's just, I think it's a little harder to pull off. And from my test, it does tend to have a little skew. So it, you know, I couldn't get it to be perfectly up and down. Like, even this one looks like it is, but it's slightly skewed, but it gets the job done. And that's all we're looking for. The third technique is called nope. And this one's great. If you're disengaging, you can essentially throw a damage orb in front of you, and in your escape route, a heal orb is following you like such. So same idea with the flick. This one's a little harder to pull off, but you essentially just want to, as like literally the millisecond you are throwing that damage orb, you are turning around in your direction, and your orb will follow you. And it's beautiful too, because, you know, it'll work with fade, and it's, you know, it's great to add to your kit. It like can ensure, like, if your fade's down, it's great. And then so adding something like liquid nitrogen, you can start to see the appeal to something like this. So if I throw my orbs at these bots or someone that was chasing me, they're going to be slowed by 20%. And suddenly, you know, we just gave ourselves a speed boost on our escape route and maintained heals in our direction of escape. So huge, 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 huge. You can see there, same idea here. So, you know, obviously healing the teammates. So with those 3 techniques, you can come into anywhere and practice them, but essentially you want to get that timing of that secondary orb down. I know that, you know, it's annoying to hear this from a content creator, but every, you know, interaction from you to me really helps. This takes a lot of time to do, and I really appreciate your help. So our second key result is to maximize position to consistently bounce orbs for their full value. So what do I mean by that? You're going to notice spots on maps where like this, you know, I can, from spawn, I can throw orbs at a position I know to hit, you know, the point. If your tank's at the point, you just came back from a death, you know, you can in a hurry get heals out to them, and it's great. These little spots, you'll find them as you play in Stadium. You'll notice, you know, where you tend to position yourself a lot and where you tend to be, you know, fighting a lot of your battles. For me, it's here, and I tend to like favor these areas too with like this type of bunker situation, just because it really caters to my kit and my playstyle. But you know, typically you start off coming up this ramp here, and you're having your team fight here, and yeah, you could throw your orbs as such, but I find the best is to just toss them right into this corner here, and you're gonna get a nice bounce back and lovely interaction. It'll work on the opposite direction as well too, but just right here in the corner, you don't have to be crazy accurate, but it's just a good spot. Like, all you want to do is use up the value of both of your orbs. So same here, you know, you're defending the point, they're coming up the ramp on the opposite side. Like, why throw both of your orbs out there in that direction when you can keep your heal orb here bouncing off of these flat walls, getting flat bounces? So just something to think about, and always keep in mind, you know, like, you don't have to be a Moira one trick to get that. And just wanted to share that workshop code with you. It's essentially just all of the Stadium maps, and you can kind of just run around them, explore them, look for orb positions at areas that you frequent, and you'll know them. You know, just play a few games, and then, you know, jump into one of these workshop maps, and you'll be like instantly like, oh shit, okay, like, I've been here before, like, I know I've been at this fucking choke before, like, I need to like see where my orbs will bounce, you know. You'll notice shit too, like little funky stuff, like or like it bounces funny off of a wall and you find a better scenario or situation. Really, all you need is that first bounce back and you're pretty solid. Like here, you know, one bounce back, you're pretty good. This map is really good for this. Obviously the geometry on some of the walls, the collisions are a little interesting, but yeah. And yeah, like we talked about before, this is one of my favorite spots, this little bunker. I frequent it a lot. You can come around from the right if your team's stuck in the choke to the left. And you can really pull the enemy team's attention to you here and get your team through the choke. And from here, I can fade onto the map. I can fade onto the spawn. Sorry, the objective, to also pull the enemy team if needed. So, good spot. It's a good spot to retreat too. You know, you come in there with low health. They think you're an easy target. You have a mega health pack there, and your healing orb just, you know, fucking them up. And you could keep your damage orb in here too if you want to fucking 1v1 someone. You'll destroy them in here. Be careful though, because, you know, characters like McCree can fuck you up. I often find myself right here, like my tank's fighting over here to the right in that direction by the statue, and I have DPS and a healer over here to the left, and, you know, this is where all the shit's going down. So I tend to position my orbs like this, but you really want to get the feel of it down and keep your keep your crosshairs in line like that. If you keep it level, you'll get it nice and get through the choke. After your first orbs you throw on this map typically are coming down like this, and this is a good spot for your first orbs. They're gonna come back. They're gonna give you good value. Obviously, if there's a Genji there, you can reflect your orbs. Don't throw it at him. Diva. You probably won't even be going CROSS-ORBAL if there's a Diva. I'll get into builds later on, but just wanted to talk about CROSS-ORBAL. This is another good bunker spot. I find myself here a lot, looking down these line of sights, and it's incredibly helpful when your team knows that you're playing like this style too. So yeah, let me know. Like I want to keep doing videos like this, and I can do it like fade jumps or positions around stadium maps. I'd love to do that. But yeah, let me know what you guys like. Down here on the point is like heaven for Moira. Like I've been in situations where we have bunkered and like kept a point alive for a long time, and it's because of they're not exactly flat bounces here, because the collision on these models isn't ideal, but there's so many little nooks and crannies here that are like Moira heaven. Just being defensive in here, like I can fade jump up to this little pillar to my right, and if someone's chasing me, then yeah. So obviously we want to achieve our objective through these key results, and our first one is getting that secondary orb down. So remember, technique number 1, the flick, really comes in handy for maximizing your orbs. The bunker is going to be great for you and your team, and it's just fun to do. Nope is just awesome for disengaging any type of fight. And yeah, again, key result number 2, to achieve our objective, we want to really focus on our positions and where we're landing our orbs. And you can really practice that by using this workshop code. Jump inside some stadium maps and really get get your hands dirty, because you guys know it. Stadium support queue times are hella long, so you might as well jump in to a custom game. If you guys made it this far, I just want to thank you. Like, this is new for me, and I love doing it. I love gaming, and I'm on this thing where like I don't play unless I post. So this is me trying to do this, and I'm gonna keep going whether anyone interacts with my shit or not. And yeah, I just wanna, if you feel inclined to hit buttons, fucking hit those buttons. I'll love you forever. If not, that's cool too. I hope you enjoyed the video and I hope you learned something. Yeah, there's also a Patreon. It's a little funky, but later on when I get some patrons, I'm essentially going to be pooling the money and picking someone every month to share some of that money with. So don't be shy. Links are in the shit below. Love you. Peace.